Financial independence, retire early. We're gonna talk about how it works. But then so first we need to start with what is financial independence, retirement early. And we covered a little bit on the previous article, but we gotta do a deeper dive. Financial independence, retirement early, the movement of people devoted to a program of extreme saving and investment with a goal of retiring far earlier than traditional budgets and retirement plans would permit. You heard that? You heard that?
Yep.
Far earlier than traditional budgets and retirement plans would permit. What
Mm.
that means is you got to do something different than the traditional.
That's extreme. Yeah.
Yes. Now, what that looks like for you, hey, and also you got to be able to look yourself in the mirror and say, am I really willing to do that? And if the answer is no, stop lying to yourself, put your mind at ease, and just keep moving forward with what you're doing. But just don't create cognitive dissonance within yourself where you like have this split personality where you have this internal struggle of like, I want to do this, but I'm doing this. I want to do and like it's just that conflict. Like be at peace, like, you know what? Yes, I'm going to do it. Then you start slowly walking your way towards doing it, getting in with the community, or, you know, I evaluated it. I don't want to do that, or I'm not interested, or I'm not ready, whatever the case may be, and be at peace with that, and then continue down whatever path that is, right? Um, and be good with that. So the one thing that I want to scroll down to is now let's talk about the purpose. The FIRE movement prioritizes greater financial independence through a program. We talked about that, frugality and aggressive investments. FIRE devotees, it's funny how they say that, may hope to retire earlier than the conventional 65 to 70 and
Okay.
hopes to gain greater financial independence.
Mm.
Now it's all coming back to you.
Like I'm not like my thing is I'm not mad at this play at all. If this is a play you running, I'd much rather this play than no play. You know what I'm saying? I like this play. I think this is a good play. If you're on your journey picking a play, you need something to attach to, not attach to, but you know what I'm saying. I think this is a. What do you think?
Well, if you've looked at the traditional path and you may have saw someone in your life live it out and you're say, I know it's not that. This is an alternative.
For sure.
Okay.
I don't know if I saw fire growing up when you put it like that.
No, you
Yeah, no,
didn't. You didn't see it. We didn't
didn't
see
know about it.
no Social Security was fire. Like getting on Social Security, like you work, then that income goes away, and then now Social Security kicks in, whether it be through disability side of it, and then you're like, "Hey, I retired." It's like, did you?
Mm,
Did
I,
you?
mm, wow.
When you having income, when you still having money issues, did you?
Right.
And it's kind of a struggle to pay bills and then live a little bit. Okay, now saving 75% of their yearly income, that's a bit extreme. When their savings reach their fire number, typically 25. So here's how you to because what I want to get to is how do you determine your fire number?
Mm,
So your fire number is 25 times your yearly expenses. So meaning your savings reach their fire number typically 25 times their yearly expenses. They may quit their day jobs or retire from work altogether. And you say, how do you do that? To cover their living expenses after retiring at a young age, fire devotees make small withdrawals from their savings, aka investments, typically around 3 to 4% of the balance yearly. Does that make sense?
that makes sense.
Okay. And so there's three different types. You have barista fire. So the three versions of fire. You have barista fire, This individual wants to exist between the two choices above. They quit their traditional 9 to 5 jobs and use a combination of part-time work and savings to live a more than minimalist lifestyle. They might
Oh,
purchase healthcare coverage while keeping their retirement funds intact. So that's like barista. It's like lower than lean,
they literally mean barista. I thought that was like an acronym or like just a name. No, they mean become a barista.
basically.
Okay.
Then you have lean fire. This individual is devoted to minimalism living and extreme saving, necessitating a far more restricted lifestyle. Many lean fire adherents live on 25,000 or less per year. And that's how they determine their fire number. Then you have fat fire. This is the this is the individual with a 9 to 5 job who aims to save substantially more than the average worker, but doesn't want to reduce their current standard of living. That's the key. It generally takes a high salary and aggressive savings and investment strategies for it to work. So this is usually for the high income earners to do the fat fire. That means you're still able to live the lifestyle that you're currently living off your investments once you hit your number. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Yeah. Now, here's what the kicker is. How many people achieve fire?
It's a good question.
That's the question. Look from by age. Look, so, and this is according to Motley Fools. So, 2016, 2022 is 2025, but we'll just go with it. Just give you a general. From 40 to 44, there's 1% of the population that hits that.
Mm,
From 45 to 49, 2% of the population. From 50 to 54, 6% of the population. From 55 to 59%, 55 to 50, age 59, 11%.
okay.
So when you see all of that, what are your thoughts?
I'm looking at I'm just wondering that like the study how they came to that number. I mean, not that that matters, but I'm just that's interesting. But I don't know. It just reminds me of I don't have any metrics to back this up, but I don't know. I feel like anything that's like elite or worth doing. Don't know if it's gonna be a high percentage of people doing it. I don't know if I want to do what 80 other percent of other people did. That's probably too easy then. So like it makes me think, okay, now it puts it in context. So it's not the end of the world if you don't have it by 40. But wouldn't it be cool if you had it by 40 or 45? You know what I mean? That type of
Yeah.
thinking. Like, wouldn't it be cool to be in that 1%? And
Yeah.
so now it makes you, it helps you start to frame the how. How am I going to achieve this goal? By acting like the 1%. Like, and now you got to frame your decisions by what a 1%. Is this a 1% decision or is this 99? And then you just gotta choose. If you want to be 99, that's okay. Go be 99. It's gonna be plenty company. But if you're gonna be 1%, you gotta and go find somebody in 1%. Shoot.
Okay, so I have a question for you. If you follow this plan, even if you didn't do it, if you're so here's where because it's an extreme frugality, right?
hmm
What if you loosened it up a little bit to take a trip here and there? Created a sinking fund to take a trip here and there, right? To where you adjusted it to what how you wanted to approach it. So there's different ways to approach it, but my question to you, do you think you'll be better off following a plan like this versus following the traditional path?
I definitely would like to stray away from the traditional path. And I think I lean more towards my desire is towards the fat fire. That's what I'm leaning towards. Like that if I have to pick a camp of the fires, I don't think I would do barista fire. I don't think that lean fire, I don't know. My point is I don't want to have to be frugal. Like to me, it just boils down. It's really simple. It just boils down to I've been reading. I think you shared this book with me a long time ago, like when I was in college. You Were Born Rich. I've been listening to it. I haven't been reading it, but one of the chapters, it's one of them books that you don't just speed through and read like, oh, I'm done. You just put it on and just listen to it. But he talks about desire and expectation. And,
Mm,
and he breaks it down because I know about the desire. I know about my desire. I know what I want. But then he broke it down and talked about what do you actually expect to get? You're not going to really achieve anything that you don't also expect to achieve. And when he broke it down like that, so okay, back to what we're talking about. I don't expect myself to be frugal like that for the next 20, 30, 40 years. I don't want to even I don't even know if I want to do that. I don't want that. So what do I want? Something that probably looks like fat fire, but I think it's just about you got to modify it to fit you. Get inspiration from this because I like this thinking. I'm not bashing fire at all because to me it shows that you're getting serious about your money and you want to do something. You want to do something different. I like that type of thinking. So now don't challenge yourself to go even further and figure out what about fire do you need to pick up from and go find a community, go find some who's to help you personalize it for you and achieve your goal.
okay, so uh, you said your, but specifically for you, does that change your thoughts, your strategy moving forward?
On fire, it my
Now
main
hearing some of this, are you like, okay, I need to, yes, emergency fund, that's great, but now I need to incorporate because the emergency fund, that's table stakes. That's just gotta
right.
happen just to build you a buffer if something go down. But like, what is the overarching goal that you're working towards beyond the emergency fund?
So I would put that in the category like defense. Like, okay, emergency fund defense, stacking up defense. My mindset would be also start playing offense, even if it's running practice, but whatever that looks like for you, run offense. But for me, that's like I said, I felt like I was in purgatory with the emergency fund, keep just stacking it up and then go to retirement. But I say, you know what? Nah, just what is the little 3%, 5%? I don't think about that from my check. I'd like because I really did the math. I asked ChatGPT, hey, with running math, run the taxes, and it's like an extra 20 or $30 that I'm not getting. I'm gonna survive, you know what I'm saying? And so, but I want to build the muscle memory of investing in a 401k. And so that's one way. Also, just like we talked about earlier, increasing your earned income. And so for me, that figuring out what that looks like, max out your 9 to 5 or 9 to whatever, max that out, and also at the same time branch out and figure out how else can you provide value to the world. That's it, and connect with who's. When you said what's my takeaway, really my takeaway is who's my who. I need to go find a who financially. Like that's because I sometimes you get so stuck in whatever your goal is, your short-term goal. Someone else the Bob Proctor talks about in that book, you forget that such greater ideas can exist because it's hard to think about so many things at one time. So that's my takeaway. I need to go either find a group of who's, which I think I have one group that I'm like that's pretty good with this, but I need to go find more people that can push my thinking financially because you'll be like you're saying I'll be chasing this emergency fund goal and never think about retirement. But in my head, I'm making progress because I spent 2 or 3 years building up my emergency fund, but my retirement fund is looking sad. So like I said earlier, you don't know what you don't know. So I need to go find some people that help me explore what I don't know.
Okay. All right. So how not to fire?
Oh no.
Fire
This
slash
ice.
how not to fire. Fire, financial freedom fails.